Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Tanner.
Welcome to episode 172 of Bird Squawk.
All right, we're back. I know we've been a little shaky recently, in and out, a lot going on. We were in LA. They lost to the Rams. They beat the Dolphins.
Now, we
They
beat the Rams.
lost. We were out in LA, beat the Rams, lost to the Jets, beat the Dolphins, beat the Commanders in a crazy one on Sunday, and here we are at Dallas week. We had to make sure that we're here again for Dallas week. But Birds, little shaky, little all over the place right now, but they're still being consistent, trying to get things together, and it still feels like they're not 100% there, but they're improving in the right direction.
Yeah, it feels like they're moving in the right direction. I would love to see every facet come together.
Of course.
As opposed to 1 week it's the offense, 1 week it's the defense. I'm hoping that this Sunday we kind of get every group together and kind of show up. And, it's Dallas week, baby.
This is a big week, obviously, regardless of records. But, this is kind of a game to give you a little bit of a buffer zone as you get into this kind of gauntlet, as we've been talking about since the offseason, beginning of this season, with this string of games coming up. Because I think 7-1, they're 5-2 because they had their bye.
Right.
So, you're still up if you lose, but it's because of the bye. But yeah, at the end of the day, we're where you want to be. Are we exactly playing, or we're playing as well as maybe we thought we were going to be at this point? No, but they're 7-1. We talked how big this stretch coming up is, how you need to rack up these wins early so that you can give yourself a little bit of cushion as you get into this deeper, tougher part of the schedule. They're 7-1. Should they be 8-0? Yes. Could they easily be 5-3? Yes. So, you got to take that with a grain of salt. They're exactly where you want them to be. You know what I mean? Not maybe the way they're playing, but record-wise as you head into this series.
Yeah, it's a good gauge, I think, Sunday to see where we're at. Obviously, the Niners put a whooping on the Cowboys, and we see what the Niners are doing right now.
Yeah.
In our backyard, it would be great if we could get this win and then go into the bye, and then come out of the bye and go into that gauntlet of games that we got coming up. I'm really anxious to see how we come out. And it's the first Jalen Dak face-off. They never went head-to-head. Because last year it was Cooper Rush, and then down in Dallas it was Minshew.
There you go. Was it the rookie year that when Deshaun had the big game and they got blasted?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Anyway, but the big thing is coming out and setting the tone. Because if you let them get in a rhythm early, it's the old adage, man. They're a good team. At the end of the day, that you look at their roster, they got weapons.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be one of those slugfests.
Yeah, their defense.
They're going to be hanging around. We're going to be hanging around, and it's going to come down to that one thing that we have talked about that is kicking our butt this year. Man. The turnovers. Man.
That's a great point. That turnovers are probably going to be a huge difference in this game. When we talk next week, it probably does come down to turnovers. And that's been last year they were really good at winning the turnover differential, not just because the defense was causing a lot of turnovers, but because the offense was keeping the ball off the ground and not getting intercepted. And it's been an issue, not just last week, not just in the loss to the Jets, but in a trend. It's been a trend of multiple turnovers a game. And in bad spots, that killed you. The 2 fumbles in the red zone last week, unacceptable. Obviously, all the turnovers in the loss to the Jets was not good. You had an interception for a pick 6 against the Dolphins that put you in a hole a little bit, tied the game up. Just untimely, not good turnovers. They just back-breaking turnovers that change outcomes of games.
Yeah. And that is something we definitely need to shore up going into this back half of the schedule, because You know, we got lucky last week dodging those turnovers.
It's always, I don't know, man. Like, they did get lucky last week, 100%. It's just, it's weird to gauge those games. Because it's like, it could easily, I think people have quickly forgot how dominant and how big that Dolphins win was just because of how much they struggled last week. And I get it. I mean, it wasn't a good game. The Commanders are good, but they're not. I mean, they're kind of doing their own thing at this point.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the other concerning point is what is up with Jalen's knee. You know, he's not going to come out and say he's hurt. But there is something going on there, and you can see it with him and his mobility.
Yeah.
But, hey, if that's going to keep him in the pocket and he's going to throw for 300 yards, I'm all for it. But, yeah, I mean, there's going to come a point, though, in every game where we need his legs maybe once or twice. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting, and I mean, it wasn't much. I know we haven't talked in a while. It's been a couple games. It wasn't much of a storyline in the Dolphins game. I mean, there was a couple things that you looked awkward here and there, but played great. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, played great. Had the pick six. Really wasn't his fault, but played really well. And, of course, last week, I mean, they showed him a couple times. Obviously, with that Devontae fourth down, when he was trying to get to the line, it looked a little rough. Here and there, he pulls up. And not that I really ever thought he was going to not finish the game, because I know how much of a warrior that guy is. But there's definitely a couple points that I was like, yikes, this isn't looking good. But then the dude throws for like 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So it's like, as much as it is a storyline, the way he's been playing, it's not really been like, well, should he even be out there, because he's balling out right now.
Yeah. And really, again, you know, we didn't touch on it, but much love to freaking A.J. Brown.
Oh, man. He's unbelievable right now.
That dude just stepped his game to another level this year. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, he's always been a beast, but it's like this year, it's like he's just a man amongst boys.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just, seems like he's open. Well, like we used to talk about Devontae being open every play. It feels like AJ is open every play.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing his thing right now. I mean, 6 games of over 125 receiving yards. I mean, an NFL record, beating out Calvin Johnson last week to surpass him. I mean, that ain't nothing to sneeze about, man. I mean, and the thing is, I mean, this guy's eating. He's doing his, but it's not like it's purely going through him. I mean, Devontae had 100 yards and a touchdown last week. Dallas Goedert has finally been able to get through.
That's a good point to make there, but you know, we have other weapons. A lot of talk this week about, hey, who would you compare? T.O., A.J. You got to remember, when we had T.O., he was it. He was the only show in town. We didn't have any other receivers.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Devontae, we got Goddard, we got Julio. I mean, and AJ is still getting open because those guys are taking the pressure off of him. They can't double him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right? If they double him, Devontae is going to get his. Dallas is going to get his. Julio is going to get his. You know, that's the thing. I mean, it's not like it's that easy to just take him away. And if they want to try and take him away, they can. But it's not like we're going to have a standstill here.
Yeah, and the word I'm looking for, I can't really find, but the connection between him and Jalen.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just off the chart. I mean, Jalen will throw it up and expect AJ to just go get it.
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, when it's good, and it's one of those things that you got a lot of I mean, he's got confidence in everybody, but you know he's got a lot of confidence in AJ. Regardless, but just the way he's playing right now, it does feel like one of those, I'm going to give my guy a shot and put it up there, and he's going to come down with it. I mean, running game, that's a big thing. Everyone wants to overreact a little bit about the running game, that it struggled a little bit. I mean, Juergens comes back this week. That's huge. That's going to help out a lot. Yes. I don't know, man. I think it's just kind of the way the games have evolved. I mean, like, not that they necessarily not need to run the ball at times in some of these games, no. But I'm not saying throw the ball 1,000 times, but if you're throwing the ball with success, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. It's like,
right? You know, I feel like it's going to be a tight one this week.
Of course it will be.
We're going to pull it out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this stretch coming up. You got Dallas, Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, Seattle, and Dallas again. I mean, I look at you split with Dallas. Every week, the Bills game isn't as scary to me. It just depends on what Bills.
They're pretty Jekyll
It just depends. Exactly. It depends what Bills team is going to show up.
Right.
So that might be a win. I mean, it's crazy to say that the game I might be scared most about is the Seahawks because we can never beat them.
Yeah, that's
because
that is
like
true.
The Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but they're not playing their best ball right now. The Niners, the energy of that game, the bad blood in that game isn't really going to matter of who's playing.
Right.
But like if you go 3-3 in that stretch, from now, to when we play Dallas again, you go 3-3 at the bare minimum.
We take that, man.
That puts you at 10-4
right.
with the Giants, Cardinals, Giants to end your season.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be acceptable with that. I'd be happy with that. Obviously, I'd be happy with more than that, but I think that is kind of where I'm going into this stretch at where I need them to be.
The thing we really got to protect through this stretch is that home field advantage, man, because we saw last year how huge that was.
Yeah, I mean,
get the bye, get that home field.
The one thing that scares me about that is we're kind of looking at Dallas and we're looking at the Niners, and those are the teams to look at. But I think I don't think the Lions.
Detroit,
I don't think they're better than us. But if
No.
you look at their schedule, they got nobody.
Right.
I mean, they play
Right.
they play the Packers again. They play the Bears again. They play the Vikings again. They play some bad teams that they can rack up.
And they're gonna line it up and play you hard.
Yeah, I mean they're a good team. Don't get me wrong, but they don't scare me. But the thing is, I think their schedule ahead is a lot easier that they could potentially get that top seed without really needing to do a whole lot. But yeah, I mean, you got to take advantage of what you need to do.
Right.
The road is in front of them. That's the crazy thing. They're 7-1, and there's so much squawking and complaining. It feels like still about this team.
Would it be anywhere else?
I know,
we
but
weren't
it's like
complaining. I mean, like everybody knows the system.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Everybody
just
knows.
we'll see what
We're
happens,
never
man.
happy.
I mean, it is very defense is good, defense is bad, offense is good, offense is bad. I mean,
yeah, I mean, this week, I feel like this is the week we put it all together.
yeah, let's hope.
You know,
I don't know.
and you know, there gonna be some ebbs and flows.
Oh, 100%.
Man, in this game, but you know, hopefully we get the dub.
Yeah, man. We'll see what happens. We'll hope. We'll try our best to be back next week. We're trying to get back in the rhythm, back in the routine. A lot of things were going on behind the scenes around the LA game in the last couple weeks. But we're trying to get back on schedule. Trying to get back.
We're back
every Wednesday.
Yeah.
But thank you guys always for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at birds_squawk. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Fly Eagles fly.
Go Birds.